Hey everybody, what is going on? DMV Air 8 back in the building with yet another video where today I'm just going to go over my Week 7 picks. I know I'm starting them late right now because of what's happening in New Orleans between the Jaguars and the Saints as I'm looking at right here. I just don't see Jacksonville losing that game at all. I picked them to win that game and they're up by 8 points. And I just don't see them losing from there. And I'm just going to roll them throughout the game tonight. And with that being said, let's go to the Sunday games. Start off with the game that I have my eyes on the most is between the Lions and the Ravens. In this matchup right here, for some reason, I find this very, very surprising. The Ravens are a 3-point favorite in this one. I just don't know why, but we're favored to win this matchup. Now, objectively, looking at this right here, Detroit's defense I find to be a little bit better than ours, in spite of us stopping the run while we're playing the Titans in London when we beat them. The Lions, on the other hand, they just come off of destroying the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. As far as the offenses go, Jared Goff may have the better offense than Lamar Jackson would have had. I hate to say this. Until we can prove ourselves that we can play a consistent game of football through 4 quarters, sadly, I just don't trust us at all to pull off this victory against the Lions. I know that we're going to be competitive, and as a Ravens fan, you just got to keep your level of optimism high. And I'll still have that spirit and energy with me as I look forward to this game. But as a objective fan, I got to do my job. And as a fan, I want my team to win the game. And I will just ride with my team throughout 4 quarters of football. But as a fan who gets to do the Week 7 picks, I got to be honest. I got to do my job, and I have to analyze it through. So, if the Ravens can win this game, they just got to balance out like they did last week against the Titans, running the football. If the pass game ain't working, if you're not hitting receivers or tight ends, which Mark Andrews should get more catches, then just balance it out with a run game. It's all about balance, especially giving Lamar carries too. He needs to run the football with authority, making guys miss tackles. As far as defense goes, they got to generate pressure. If you're not getting pressure on Jared Goff, he'll make a big play right in your face. You can't let that happen. You cannot let that happen. Secondary, you got to lock up Amon-Ra St. Brown. He is a receiver that can get big plays down the field and yards after the catch. The offensive line for Detroit has been phenomenal this year. And on pace to win the NFC North, their respective division. As far as coaching goes, John Harbaugh, philosophy ain't changed. I'm not going to get into too much on that. It's just nothing's changed recently in Baltimore. Dan Campbell, he definitely changed the culture of the team. You almost made the playoffs. You just came up short. Your style leadership has definitely changed something in this Lions squad. Looking at this game here, it's definitely going to be a statement game. I want this to be a high-scoring game, but if it's a defensive game, so be it. Like I said, as a Ravens fan, I want them to win the game. I really do. I really want my team to succeed right here and go back-to-back wins. But in terms of being an objective fan who analyzes the games moving forward, I just got to do my job. So, that being said, I'm going to have to take the Detroit Lions winning this one. I definitely think that they will execute plays down the stretch and that they will probably do enough to win this potential statement game. I'm going to give a score, in all honesty, I'm going to go 31-24. Because I think that's pretty much a fair score. That sounds fair to me. So I think the Lions are going to win this one in close fashion, and the Ravens are going to lose in yet another disappointing fashion. It's just, I mean, it's going to be tough if they lose in heartbreaking fashion, but it is what it is at the end of the day. Anyway, we'll get into that game later on in another video. Moving on, we got the Giants taking on the Commanders in MetLife Stadium. I'm going to take the Commanders in this one. But I have full trust that defense will get to, I don't know who the quarterback's going to be. Maybe Daniel Jones or Tyrod Taylor. But either way, the defense has to generate pressure, stopping the quarterback, in which the Giants' offense has been one of the worst offenses in the league, and that Sam Howell needs to get protection. He is the most sacked quarterback in the league thus far. 34 sacks in 6 weeks, which is horrendous. The O-line needs to get it together, give him protection so you can give it to Terry McLaurin, John Dotson, Logan Thomas, and as far as the run game goes, it has to be balanced out as well. So it's up to Coach Rivera to make the necessary adjustments. If he don't do that, it will be embarrassing. But I have full faith in the Commanders in this one. Next up, we got the Browns taking on the Colts. Somewhat of an interesting game, but I'm going to take the Browns because that win against the Niners definitely gave them confidence. Defense played legit. Offensively, they ain't doing nothing special, though. But I do believe that they will do enough to beat the Colts. Go up against Gardner Minshew, which looks to be interesting, but I believe Myles Garrett can get the job done either way. Next up, we got the Raiders taking on the Bears. That looks to be a very atrocious game to watch, unless if you're a Raiders fan or a Bears fan. Watching this game, it may be painful. It will be hard to watch, but at the end of the day, someone's got to win this one. But I did get news that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be out for that game. Justin Fields will not start this game against the Raiders. In this Norfest game, I'm going to have to take the Raiders in this one. They did get the job done against the New England Patriots last week, but in spite of the Bears in spite of the Bears put up a fight against the Vikings, they're one of the worst offenses in the league as well. So I'm going to take the Raiders defense taking down the Chicago Bears in an anemic matchup. Next up, we got a battle of the NFC South. Falcons taking on the Buccaneers in Tampa Bay. I'm going to go with the Bucs. Despite only putting up 6 points against the Detroit Lions, which were tough, I do think Baker Mayfield will bounce back. Defense will play lights out against the Atlanta Falcons, who, by the way, played a disappointing game against the Commanders. Arthur Smith, coaching decisions did not pay off. So I'm going to take Todd Bowles and Baker Mayfield to win this matchup. Next up, we got the Buffalo-New England game in Foxborough. Mac Jones, sorry, buddy, but this ain't your year. I hate to say. 1-5, he only put up 72 points in 6 weeks. That is sad. That is truly sad right there. Going up against a Bills defense that's going to go after you all day. And Josh Allen may have to put up more than 14 points to beat you in an AFC East matchup. So with that being said, I'm taking the Bills. No question. Next up, we got the Steelers taking on the Rams. This seems to be quite interesting. Battle of Defensive Player of the Year candidates. TJ Watt and Aaron Donald. In between these two guys, I'm taking Aaron Donald in this one. I got the Rams winning this one, especially, as you guys may have known, as a Ravens fan, I hate those Steelers with a passion. I'm going to see Aaron Donald chasing after Kenny Pickett all day, and Matthew Stafford will just do enough to give the Rams the victory. So I'm going to take the Rams in this one. Next up, we got a battle of the NFC West. Cardinals and Seahawks. I'm going to take the Seahawks in this one. They had a rough game against the Bengals last week in Cincinnati. They had so many chances to score in the red zone. Yes, but when they had that chance to score in the red zone, they failed to get the job done. Cardinals, not too much to say about them. The life without Kyler Murray is just awful right now. Defensively, they give it up too many big plays. So I'm going to take the Seahawks in this one. Next up, we got Green Bay taking on the Broncos. This seems to be quite an interesting matchup. Unless if Denver can really pull themselves together. Russell Wilson has, in my opinion, looked like one of the worst. Because not only is the defense laying them down, but offensively, they just keep making mistakes. Sean Payton, I'm going to put the blame on you for this because you just come here to fix Russell Wilson. Just for that to happen, this is a joke. Complete utter joke. Meanwhile, the Packers, offensively, Jordan Love's not doing anything special. He's not doing anything special at all. Defensively, they're just trying to hold out. So in this lopsided matchup, I'm going to go Green Bay in this one. No trust in Russell Wilson. And that offense right there. So, I'll say a low-scoring game, 17-14. Green Bay will just do enough to win that game. Next up, we got the battle of the AFC West. Chargers taking on the Chiefs in a great game at Arrowhead. In terms of who I'm going to go with, Justin Herbert or Patrick Mahomes. Not betting Patrick Mahomes in this one. The Chargers looked inconsistent on Monday Night Football against the Dallas Cowboys. And, yeah, they looked flat out smothered by the defense against the Dallas Cowboys. Offensive line had a couple issues blocking. Herbert got sacked, throw a pick, and he's still not 100%. Mahomes, on the other hand, he's got Travis Kelce on his side. And by the way, they got McCole Hardman back from the Jets, so that's one of their dynamic receivers down the field that he can throw to. They still got Scantling and Clyde Edwards-Helaire, all the dynamic weapons on offense. So I got Chiefs winning this one in a close fashion. I would say 28-24. Next up, we go to the primetime games. Dolphins taking on the Eagles in Philadelphia. Now, this looks to be a really good game of Week 7. You got one team that looks to be on track to win their division and has the best offense in the league. That will be the Miami Dolphins. The other team suffering their first loss of the year in embarrassing fashion. That will be the Philadelphia Eagles, who lost to the New York Jets 20-14 in MetLife Stadium. The question is, will Jalen Hurts bounce back from the tough loss against the New York Jets? We shall see on Sunday Night Football. But without doubt, I'm not picking the Eagles to bounce back because they're facing a tough offense that they got to deal with, and injuries to the offensive line will hurt you. I definitely think Tua with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle healthy will just do enough to edge the Philadelphia Eagles in this one. I'm going to go final score 34-31 in a high-scoring game. This should be a great game, but I'm taking the Miami Dolphins to continue to excel to new heights. So, should be a great game. We shall see if Jalen Hurts can bounce back. To finish it off, we got Monday Night Football between the Niners and the Vikings. I got San Francisco winning this one. They also suffered their first loss against the Cleveland Browns in heartbreaking fashion. They lost the game because they missed the field goal that could have won it. Not the case. But I do believe that they will bounce back against this Vikings team that looks really inconsistent all year with 2 wins. Offensively, looks so bad. And as you guys know, Kirk Cousins, so bad on prime time. Defense, giving up big plays. And of course, Justin Jefferson still on IR. They're a mess right now. So I got Niners winning that one. And with that being said, my picks are in. And that is all I gotta say. Let's get it.